Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Cheese Compilation. This is number I can't remember, and I'll check after this game. And we're going to get it started off with a game between Question Mark and Zergling on Mech Depot, the latter edition. On the loading screen, it said this Red Terran player is named Zergling, and the Blue Zerg player's name is Sadoman. Oh, there we go. Sadoman. It shows up here, but not up at the top right. All right, so Blue versus Red. Terran versus Zerg here on Mech Depot, the latter edition. This is one of the new maps. A lot of new maps in this cheese compilation if you're interested in that sort of thing. And an SCV is moving out pretty early along a non-scouting path. And hey, look, it's a Thor getting repaired here on a Mech Depot. Apparently, this is where stuff that is mechanical gets paired. It makes a lot of sense if you think about it. There is a Zergling watchtower here, kind of in the bottom center of the map, and then one a little bit up and to the left from the center as well. I don't think it covers this middle attack path, unless that counts as an attack path. You can kill these rocks to not be scouted by the Zergling watchtower, but otherwise I think you do have to pass this on some level. So SCV comes in, sees the expansion. Good luck, have fun, says Sadoman. It reminds me of like SATA drivers and SATA disk drives from back in the day when PCs were young. Well, fairly young, but way older than they are now. Actually, somebody posted a really amazing Doom mod, like Doom, 1990s Doom mod, where they use EGA color palette and a PC speaker sound. I put it on my Facebook page at facebook.com/falconpaladin if you want to check that one out. But really, really interesting. It's kind of visually and auditorially satisfying. For those of us who grew up in the age when EGA was a thing, it was fairly common in the mid to late 90s. Well, more like mid 90s was kind of the heyday, early 90s as well. But yeah, give that a check out. Again, facebook.com/falconpaladin, also twitter.com/falconpaladin if you're looking for highlights of stuff, you're looking for me to retweet when awesome streamers are on the Twitch, if that's something you're into. And it is going to be a Reaper opening here from Zergling. Meanwhile, factory up behind. He's got the double gas behind it as well. Oh, this drone chased this SCV all the way home and is paying the price. Did manage to make itself into an extractor here, though, at the natural base of Zergling. And this Reaper's going to try to kill it. Your DPS against buildings is not great anymore, man. It is not as good as it used to be. I can tell you that much. Spawning pool done. Whoa, macro hatch already up for Sadoman. What is this guy doing? He's not getting a queen. That's for sure. Does he think this is Brood War? Does he think you could just get a macro hatch because you need the extra larva production because queens don't exist? Seems possible that Sadoman came over from Brood War and doesn't recognize the mechanics of StarCraft 2. Speaking of which, Brood War Remastered, a lot of gameplay videos have come out in the last little bit here. If you just search Brood War Remastered on YouTube, you'll see stuff that StarCraft officially has released. You'll see stuff that people have been streaming. I think it's available in Korea. So if you're listening to this from Korea, congratulations on having Brood War Remastered in your country already. I know it's a huge deal. I mean, I know that Brood War is like the national sport of your country, so I understand why it was released there first. It still makes me feel a little tiny bit sad. Remastered, Brood War Remastered. I'll get these up as soon as I can on my channel, as soon as it's available. And a fusion core on the way from Zergling as well. Oh, I do want to say, also, there should be a new episode of the podcast coming out. Ling's trying to get this Reaper. Micro the Reaper. You have to micro the Reaper. You can't just, there you go. Can't just stand there. And this drone still lives, man. Oh, throw down the hatch. Throw down the hatch here. I want to see it so bad out of our Blue Zerg player. He's got the Lings at the front, which I like very much. He still has no queens. And a macro hatch, though, so maybe that evens out. I don't know. The drone's going home. All right, drone. These Lings are just kind of playing map control. Anyway, podcast link in the description. Wade and I on my Australian night talk about things, video games, movies, TV shows, books, music. And we're currently holding a contest where if you review us on iTunes, the person who has the most entertaining, the most clever review, doesn't have to be nice, doesn't have to be gushing, doesn't have to say how awesome we are, just can be honest, but entertaining, we will send a copy of Brood War Remastered to free of charge. So check us out. Check out the podcast. It's once a week. There's a new one coming up. New one up today at the link in the description. Also available on places like Beyond Pod and Last.fm. Also on Google Play Podcasts, if you're part of that situation as well. There is a proxy hatch here from Sadoman. It is right up here at where the third base for the Terran player would be, kind of down, you know, how it traditionally is, down from the main base, but there's a ramp there, so you can't exactly easily get there. Anyway, got some Hellions at the front here for Zergling, and oh, it's a baneling bust from Sadoman. So he knows what banelings are, so he's not playing Brood War straight up. Banelings did not exist in StarCraft Broodborn, as it turns out. Regardless, it's about a 5-minute baneling bust, which is not the fastest one I've ever seen, but our first battle cruiser is on the way from Zizor. Yep, that fusion core is done. Working on a battle cruiser, supply blocked, but the command center does provide a lot of supply, so that gets him out of it as soon as it's done. This forward hatch is complete, though, from Sataman. I don't know what he's planning on doing with it. And if you make all banelings, there's nothing to kill everything else. You got to bring more lings up. He does have speed. At least the skipping queen thing is freaking me out. He's got a lair, he's got lings, he's got banelings, but he doesn't have queens. You know what's good against a baneling bust at 5 minutes? Battle cruisers. Battle cruisers are pretty good against 5-minute baneling busts. Zizor. Who is this? Yeah, getting the weapon refit, allowing the battle cruiser to use the immortal cannon for big single target damage. And going to try to expand down here off the back of this. These banelings might explode themselves on this command center, which I'm pretty sure Zizor would prefer to these guys getting up and his ramp. Oh, they block. They block the landing, though. Immediate multiple supply depot wall coming up here. You're going to try to break through this. I'm not going to make it easy for you, says Zizor. That's a lot of banelings. That's a scary thing to see if you are an Terran player. In fact, did I say an Terran player? I think I might have said an Terran player. All right, banelings going to walk up this ramp, and there's a single bunker with submarines in it. They are all dead. The Hellions taking shots as well, but several of them do remain. 4 Hellions. See, against the remaining lings, and you're fine. That's why you don't make all banelings. Good job breaking through, but you can't kill the Terran without lings to finish it off. Did he just tactical jump? Whoa, tactical jumping into this mineral line. There's a single spore crawler, but it gets Yamato cannon and shot down. This battle cruiser isn't even looking at his targets. Just shooting backwards like battle cruiser captains do. Full evacuation of drones. Pretty good reaction time here from the blue Zerg player, throwing up additional spore crawlers, sending lings on over. I think maybe he can get through this. These Hellions, though, that's a difficult wall to break with just speedlings. He sees the macro hatch, and there's no queens for anti-air. Not that it would matter. Queen anti-air is good. It is not this good. Lings trying to attack at the natural base, being shooed away there by the Hellions. How many kills? 4 kills, 1 kill, 1 kill. Pretty low on HP, too. These Hellions might just straight up die unless they get walked past. Oh, banelings finish them off. That's fine. That's totally fine. Ow, the Hellions are gone. The lings going to town on these SCVs. Baneling exploding, wounding a lot of these SCVs. There's a single Hellion left. I take it back. One has survived the carnage. 12 kills on that dude, and we're safe. Meanwhile, battlecruiser just going to town on the main base of Sataman. Macro hatch is dead. Lair going to be dead as well. Spawning pool going to be the next thing, and I think Zizor has this thing. I really don't see any way for the Zerg player to come back. I mean, lings keep running out. Lings aren't going to do anything against these battle cruisers, and they darn well know it. They're trying to break this front. More Hellions for defense here from Zizor. Another battle cruiser is being made in the starport. Probably going to go and play defense here at this natural base. Lings rolling in a few at a time. You got to group them up. You got to group them up together. There you go. Everybody gather here on this low ground, and then when everybody's present, then you'll walk on in. Banelings trying to get in that mineral line, but good micro on display from Zizor. Banelings getting in. No, trying to chase down the Hellions. Not exploding. There you go. Exploding on the SCVs. 23 SCVs killed. Another tactical jump on top of these spore crawlers. Ooh, 3 spore crawlers in range to kill this thing. Yamato cannon, not enough to one-shot the spore crawler, but the other Yamato cannons are. As it turns out, saving the battle cruiser. Wow, down to 100 hit points out of 550. Took some serious damage there. And a mule being called down to repair, but it does not matter. Sataman not really responding altogether well for this battle cruiser rush. He kept trying to kill the Zerg player, or the Terran player, rather, with lings. He is making a Hydralisk den, which probably too little too late. Has 40 minerals in the bank right now. Battle cruisers continuing to rock down this replacement lair that Sataman threw down here at his natural base. Baneling nest getting baneling speed. Some drones trying to get out of that lair. Nope, not gonna happen. But these drones do manage to escape up to his secret ninja base. Secret ninja base up here. And it's kind of a double cheese situation. I mean, Sataman's tried his best to make it work, but not as fantastic. So baneling speed is done. Take out a Hellion here at the front door of Zizor. We have several Hellions here at the front, 8 of them to be exact. Hellbats. Hydralisks are in production for the Zerg player. And the battle cruisers going to town on this extractor. I might have to speed this up just a little bit here. We're approaching the 10-minute mark. My screeners who happened to be this time around. Wade and Asher really both loved this replay. It's a little bit longer. Figured we'd start off with it. Kind of whet your appetites for the future cheese. Baneling does explode on the Hellion. Not enough to kill him by himself. And Hellion's doing extra damage to Hydralisk, but not in a one-on-one situation here. Ling's doing pretty well against these SCVs at this mineral line. And wow, gonna take this out. I think that's it for these SCVs. That is 38 SCVs killed by Sataman, but I still don't think he has it. Some Hydralisks joining the party. Natural base in a lot of trouble. SCVs transferring to the natural, a lot of trouble as well. Battlecruiser showing up at secret base of Sataman. Yamato cannon being used on this Spore Crawler. Hydralisk Den trying to get muscular augments, but I don't know if it's going to finish. There's a lot of Hellions here. There's a lot of Battlecruisers as well. And Spore Crawlers doing some damage, but they haven't actually killed anything yet. None of the Battlecruisers have fallen, which is kind of the whole point. That's why they exist. Hellions roasting away at the Spore Crawler. Difficult to do. Is this oh no, muscular augments is denied by the battle cruiser, and this is Lings and Hydras are still here inside the main base of Zizor, but battle cruiser finishes it off, and that's it. Rage quit out of Sataman, and Zizor is victorious here in game number 1. All right, good one. Battle cruiser rush versus proxy hatch versus guy who doesn't know what queens are, so who knows? Crazy times. And we'll come back with game number 2 in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, for more cheese. This game will be between Sarmat and Elithidon on Interloper, the latter edition. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is Elithidon from EZ. And in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Sarmat from Zerg TV. Little Zerg spinning logo, though. Good times. Good times indeed. Got a PvP here after the ZVT in game number 1. Figured we see some mirror matchup cheese action. And I don't know if it's going to be a cannon rush. Again, this was something both of my screeners really enjoyed this time around. So I'd imagine it's not just a cannon rush that straight up wins, because that is not something that really attracts the attention of the screeners. Oh, if you are interested in having your cheesy game cast by Falcon Paladin, I forget to mention this, in game number 1, send me an email with your cheesy replay to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of cheese. I will see it. If it doesn't say cheese, I probably won't see it. So make sure you get that subject right. I'll get them to my screeners. I had about 55 submissions for the cheese compilation this time around. So if you didn't get selected, do not fear. Keep it up. Keep getting creative cheese. Send in replays where you beat somebody who's trying to cheese you. That's also pretty fun. And we'd like to see cheese fail every once in a while on this channel at the same time. Creativity is good. Battlecruiser's good. Nidus Swarm's good. Cannon Rush is not generally amazing unless it's a super close result. I mean, just unique stuff. Stuff we don't see always on the channel usually gets the nod from the screeners. I don't watch these games in advance. I do not see them. Here comes a probe from Sarmat, and I thought he was going to throw down some proxy stuff, but Elithidon's probe saw it. Went over there to make sure that didn't happen, and now it's chasing the probe around with a ring around the rosy play here in the main base of Elithidon. All right, so double gas already up here for Sarmat. Doesn't even have a cyber core yet. Same story here from Elithidon. His cyber core is just now starting, and he's putting his stuff all close to home, close to the Nexus, whereas Cybernetics core at the ramp for Sarmat. We've seen Blink Stalkers be good in PvP. We've seen Immortal Stalker also pretty good in PvP, although it seems like a Blink Stalker is going to be a little bit better. If it's all Blink Stalkers versus non-Blink Stalkers and a couple Immortals, the micro can really help the Blink Stalker player for sure. Trying to pick off this probe of Elithidon's, and he gets it with 2 probes of his own from Sarmat. What is he planning? I don't know, but there's a pylon over here from Elithidon. Over on this left side of the map, Cybercore is done. Double gas being harvested from as well. No sign of an expansion. This is a 1-base all-in out of Elithidon, and it is a robotics facility from a red Protoss player. He's got that fancy Protoss skin here. Delicious to see as well. Blue Protoss player working on another gateway here. And it does have an expansion coming up. I mean, you want to know your opponent has an expansion of their own before you go for an expansion. Or maybe go for it and then check. Either way, it's a double robotics facility proxy with gateway. With gateway here, so you can warp in some gateway units to assist with your attack. Is he getting warp gate? Actually, no. Entirely skipping warp gate here as Elithidon. Could probably afford it. Could probably afford it at this point. I want to say, again, I don't main Protoss, but okay, he did. He did get it started here at about the 3-minute mark, so it's a little tiny bit late. Almost 50% done here for Sarmat, but we'll see if that makes a difference or not. He is also getting a robotics facility. It might just be Immortal versus Immortal action right about now. A Warp Prism would be fun from a Lithodon. A Warp Prism Disruptor type Proxy would be pretty strong. It's going to be Immortal, Duck Immortal. And second Duck Immortal is going to cost 250, 100. Can he get enough minerals? It's going to be... Oh, yeah, he's far away, but it looks like he's saving up for it here. He has enough supply for it as well. 4 total supply for an Immortal. And, oh, did he make something else? He made a Zealot in the meantime. No. Warp Prism. All right, just kidding. Warp Prism. Nope, he canceled and went for an Immortal. Okay, accidentally might have clicked. Warp Prism there. It's hard to say. It is hard to say what happened. So got some Adepts at the front for Sarmat. Got a Mothership Core. Ready for Photon Overcharge. It's a pretty good defense against most things that your opposing Protoss player will want to send your way, but I don't know. Against Duck Immortals and a Warp Prism, you can just walk past your front door. I don't know about this. Got Zealots. Without Charge, Zealots are not great. They're just not. I mean, I know you see them a lot, but that's because Charge is awesome and it got buffed. But when it's just straight up slow Zealots, if you're on the offensive, it's pretty good because you can still hack at buildings and stuff if your opponents run away. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be good in this situation. He is just using them as a mineral dump, though, because it's a lot more gas for Immortals than it is than the... Well, let's see. You're going to use more gas on the Immortals and not as many minerals compared to what you're taking in. Although he is actually super gassed up here. He's got 500 gas just about and only 110 minerals. So maybe he's been spending his minerals a little bit more than he should right now with all these Zealots. Pylon is done trying not to get supply blocked as a Lithodon, and it's a 3 Immortal Zealot push here from the Protoss player. It's going to be Stalkers and Adepts and a couple Pylons. Oh, an Immortal of his own for Sarmat. And I don't think this is going to go very well for our red Protoss player, the Cheeser. He's got to stay out of range of that Photon Overcharge. Sarmat gleefully moving into range of that defensive circle. Double Photon Overcharge is up. Mothership Core has enough for one more. And I think a Lithodon is waiting for those two to expire before he pushes back on in. Is he still making stuff? He has an Immortal he left behind. Come on. Come join the party. Immortal number 4. That's what you are. Immortal number 4. That's what we'll call ya. There he is. Waddling on over with his little duck legs. Sentries here, too. This is definitely a one base. There is no sign of an expansion for a Lithodon here. Got ourselves a Stargate for Sarmat. That's actually a great idea. A Void Ray would wreck this composition. But can it get there is the question. Immortals getting some shots off on those Adepts. Really good against Stalkers. Really good against Pylons and other buildings. Not good against Zealots, which there are. Not good against Adepts, which there also are. Not really great against Photon Overcharge. So pulling back. Waiting. I don't know what for. Some Zealots here down below as well. That Void Ray is looking closer all the time. The longer a Lithodon waits for this thing to kick in, the worse it's going to be for him. And going for it. One Pylon down immediately. Another Pylon does take out a Zealot with the Photon Overcharge, and a Lithodon pulls back once again. Is there enough? There's still enough for another Photon Overcharge. Man, the energy regeneration on Mothership Cores is kind of nuts. Kind of insane. There's that Void Ray. There's that Void Ray from Sarmat. Both players getting Twilight Councils, perhaps for charge. Based on the number of Zealots they have, I would be shocked if that's not what that is. And here comes Sarmat. Yes, no, Sarmat's not pushing out. Force field, keeping the army away, and then trying to pick off these Pylons. Nope, Photon Overcharge, enough to chase them the heck on out of there. Another Pylon does get focused down, and here it is, a Lithodon going for it. Pylon's in a lot of trouble. Twilight, oh, that's a Forge rather. Forge of the Natural. Toast. Pylon toast as well. Holding the high ground here is Sarmat. I think he recognizes this is a one base all in. He's waiting for the Void Ray to show up. There are 5 sentries. I don't think that's enough to tickle a Void Ray to death. I really don't. So here, oh, more sentries showing up though. You got to focus down the Void Ray. Void Ray going to town on this Immortal. Look at that extra damage. Woo! Extra damage against these units. Sentries taking shots. And I think you really should be focusing down the big stuff, Void Ray. The big stuff is what you got to be doing here. Yes, another Immortal likely going to fall, but too many Immortals remaining. The sentries are taking down the Void Ray. Mothership Core dead as well. Void Ray still lives. Only 2 kills. Natural base is in shambles. Void Ray, 4 hit points. Almost getting tickled there. Guardian Shield finally comes up for a Lithodon. And natural base toast. So we're sitting at 1 base versus 1 base right now. 32 to 24 Harvesters. Sarmat has more, because he was planning on having an expansion, but he doesn't have an expansion, which seems terrible. Charge is on the way from a Lithodon, walking up the ramp. Oh, the Pylon. Oh, the Pylon depowering 3 Warp Gates and a Robotics Facility and a Twilight Council and a Cybernetics Core. Somehow, the Stargate is still powered, I think, by this pylon right up there. Another Void Ray joins the party. And no, don't use prismatic alignment on sentries. They're not armored. Are they armored? They're not armored. They're light. Yeah, they are light. Gonna try to take out the sentries anyway because they're the anti-air threat. One of the Void Rays ends up falling. Sentry destruction count is pretty high right now. 6 dead sentries. We're going to make it 7. It's all the anti-air that Lithodon has, but he's going to make it work anyway. There it is. Void Ray's gone, and that's it. Sarmat is defeated. Lithodon is victorious, and Sarmat has left the game. All right, so that's it for game number 2. Pretty efficient little Proxy, Immortal, Sentry, Depth, Zealot push there. I liked it. Charge was done. Charge was done by the time the game was over, and there was a Zealot here. 4 of them, actually. Some of them hiding in this explosion. All right, game number 3 of Cheese Compilation. We'll be back in just a second. The third game in Cheese Compilation number 16 will be between Jikija and Rist here on Catalina Ladder Edition Into the Void version. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, or just the left-hand, I guess, is the red Protoss player. It is Jikija. Jikija. It's kind of fun to say. And in the top right-ish corner of the map is the blue Zerg player. It is Rist, sporting a Kerrigan spinning logo, extractor tricking his way into 16 out of 14 available supply. That is so tricky. If you don't know how that works, ask in the comments, because I explain this a lot. If you don't know, then maybe you're new. Maybe you're new. I don't know. I don't actually know. All right, so I put a link to my Patreon here earlier in the cast. If you're interested in supporting me and supporting daily StarCraft casts, you can do so at patreon.com/falconpaladin. Even just $1 a month is so incredibly appreciated. A lot of you are pledged at $1 a month. If every one of you just pledged $1 a month, it would be incredible. Incredible for me. Allow me to do amazing things with the channel. And again, all of you who have who pledged so far, just much appreciated. We're pretty close to the goal of $500 a month through Patreon, which means we do a subscriber tournament cast by Falcon Paladin. How fun does that sound? I think that sounds pretty fun. Do it in the StarCraft, obviously. Solo cast, the whole darn thing, no matter how long it takes. Post it. Post it to the YouTube channel. Maybe stream it on Twitch. Maybe I'll even do that for those of you who like Twitch. Anyway, patreon.com/falconpaladin. And we do have a pretty standard opening here for a cheese game. Rist has an expansion on the way. He's got extractor pool first of all, though, which means he might be the one who's the aggressor. Expansion on the way from Jikija. And this is Catalina. This is a Heart of the Swarm map, isn't it? It's a really weird map, the way it's kind of circular all around the outsides. I think it's more of a like a 4-player map, too. I think I've done some model battles on this before. Maybe not model battles, but free-for-alls. Possibly. Slicksling's on the way from Rist. He has that skin. See that skin? I think that's the skin you can buy from the war chest. With their big old antennas there. Yep. Slowlings, man. Looking intimidating. Never looked more intimidating than when they have this skin. Walling off here is Jikija. He's not weirded out by this strange shape of this map at all. He's making a Zealot here as well. This isn't a Heart of the Swarm game, is it? No. I mean, there's a Mothership Core, Photon Overcharge, Chrono Boost, places. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely Legacy of the Void. Sometimes on these old maps, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know. I mean, obviously, there's an Adept available here as well. And anyway, it's going to be dropling action here from Rist. Again, this is a higher level game. Sent to be falconpaladin@gmail.com. I believe this is a diamond level, so the execution of cheese will be a little bit better here than we see in some of the other games. But you know what? Cheese is cheese. Cheese is fun. I feel like it's fun. Anyway, here we go. Ling's inside the Overlord. Gonna sneak on in. There's really no reason to be sneaky about this. There is nothing. The Protoss player can see none of this. These Lings are gonna come out of the darkness. Ready?
Glory to the day.
Well, there's that. Glory. And here come the Lings. Surprise Zerglings. Oh, Mothership Core pops out just in time. There is a pylon here. You can Photon Overcharge Mothership Core. There it is. There's the Photon Overcharge. And the Ling's going to run down to the natural base. Oh, where there's no pylons. This is why you need a pylon near your Nexus Protoss fans. Oh, probe 1 down. Probe 2 down. Actually, this is going to be probe 6. Going to be probe 6, but it is saved by a Zealot and an Adept combination. And the Lings get killed without future incident. So that's going to be 6 Lings for 5 probes, which is probably a fair trade. If you are the Protoss player, Baneling Nest on the way. Is Rist following this thing up with a Ling Baneling bust? Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Pneumatis Carapace. Speed on the way from Rist. He's maybe going to go Baneling drop. A Baneling drop follow-up to this aggression. Oh, more Lings are here. More Lings are here, everyone. Oh, a Dark Shrine from Jijika. What? Going Dark Shrine. Probes fighting for their own lives. That's not what you want here. Mothership Core, come back and photon overcharge. Too far away. That is 14 probes lost, and now they're out of the range of the photon overcharge. Coming into the natural base, good control here by Reese, keeping these lings alive. Probes running to the safety of these two adepts, but no, focus down the probes. Don't try to kill this adept. You can't do it. You don't have enough DPS. And Zealot hacks the final one down. More lings joining the party. Are they going to baneling here? Oh, more lings getting elevated in. Oh, and there's speed on the Overlord too. This is so much faster. This is so much faster. And now banelings, 6 banelings coming in. See that baneling skin? See how they're the same color of creep? Players have been complaining about this. TLO, actually, Zerg player, has been saying you can't tell when there are banelings in an army composition because they're the same color as the creep. It's not good. See those blue banelings, those purple banelings? Not great. Not great. Oh, there's a pylon in the... Oh, natural mineral line, but it actually baited it. Baited it out. Mothership Core doesn't have enough for another one. That's not good news. Banelings dropping here at the front door. Killing that Zealot, almost taking down the pylon. Ling gonna try to finish it off. Come down here, finish off this pylon. They don't have an elevator anymore, and you don't. Adepts managed to make their way all the way over here to the natural base of Reese. They're trying to murder stuff, which seems like a pretty swell course of action if you're a Protoss player, and that's it. Jika is out. Jika, and Reese is victorious. Purple banelings exploding on this poor Zealot. He stays alive, mind you. He stays alive. And yeah, maybe if you try to DT rush, you got to watch out for those drops, man. Get some pylons up here. See what's coming in advance. Because, you know, DT rush is not something that Zerg players like very much. Not something they're fans of. They'll try to kill it as soon as they can, not allow those DTs to come out. So good job from Reese. He gets the win. And we'll come back with the next game in the Cheese compilation in just a second. Cheese compilation number 16 will continue with a game between Drogan and Dikren on Odyssey, the latter edition. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is Drogan. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It be Dikren from PDF, which is a readable, signable document format, PDF by Adobe. What does it actually stand for? Publishable document format, maybe? Something like that. I just realized I've seen that acronym for a long time and I have no idea what it actually stands for. None whatsoever. All right, so a PVT here from the Cheese. Again, highly recommended by the screeners. We'll see how this one goes. Between red and blue here. PVT, a matchup you don't see a lot of these days. Protoss is kind of on the decline, which makes me sad. I'd like to see all races represented equally in StarCraft 2, if just kind of mix up the ladder a little bit. Mix up the compositions we see from major tournaments as well. If there's few Protoss. Like, I just went through all the replays from WCS Valencia looking for TVPs. They are few and far between, man. A lot of TVZs, a lot of ZVTs, a lot of mirror matchups, but man, PVT, a rare breed. Gonna be a cannon rush. Gonna be a cannon rush. We got a Forge on the way from Dikren. And Pylon, very sneaky Pylon in the top right here. You gotta see it. You gotta see this probe come in. I know your attention is likely elsewhere as the Terran player, but you can see it because your buildings are at the top of this ramp. So you see him sneak in. A Reaper on the way from Drogan. A very brave Reaper, mind you. Reapers against Protoss these days, just it's a rough go of things. Mothership Cores, Adepts, and Stalkers causing major problems. We do have gateways on the way from Dikren. Is he not cannon rushing? Why did he get that early Forge? He's not throwing up a pylon inside Drogan's base. Perhaps he's distracted by other things. I don't know. There's a pylon. Okay, so Drogan actually reminds me of Game of Thrones, which is back. Been a pretty good season so far, I would say. A lot of stuff has happened. It's felt a little bit rushed at times, which, I mean, we're running out of episodes, so makes a lot of sense. Also, Rick and Morty is back. Oh, Rick and Morty is back. Watch it on Sunday night on adultswim.com. In America, those of you who are Rick and Morty fans in other countries might not have the same experience that I was able to, wherein you log onto the stream and it's glitchy and crashes all the time because 800,000 other people are trying to use the same stream at the same time. Yeah, it wasn't great. Had to stop and start it about 6 times for the 22 minutes of episode 2 of season 3, but it was worth it. It was really, really great. Oh, I love Rick and Morty so much. So much. I would say funny lines from it, but I'm just worried about spoiling things. Those of you who are fans and haven't gotten around to watching it yet, there are probably 2 or 3 of you on the channel. If not, maybe we can have a discussion next time around. Reaper comes in and says, what? No Mothership Core? No Adepts? This is my dream come true. Oh, wait. Is it a multiple? Is it a 3-rack Reaper? Cheese versus Cheese. 3-Rax Reaper action here from Drogan. Probes trying to fight, but man, it is a rough go against Reapers in the hands of somebody who's competent. Dicren put his cannons way too far away from anything. This is not a good cannon rush out of our Protoss player. I'm not sure how much it matters either. Man, one cannon would have helped so much in this situation. Mothership Core, see, this is the problem. Mothership Core finishing off one of the Reapers. Photon Overcharge, do not get so close to these pylons, you crazy person. There it is. Overcharge that one. Oh, we're on the other side where there aren't any pylons. Smart moves. Smart moves out of Drogan. He's killed 7 probes so far. That's pretty good stuff. And I think a Reaper just tried to come over here by these cannons and died. Dicren is far too absorbed in staying alive. He should be throwing down pylons. Photon Overcharge, wrecking house a little bit there, but there's a while to go before the next one's up. Oh, just skirting the edge. Just skirting the edge there. Mothership Core too slow. You gotta stay over here, man. You gotta stay over here on the right side and let the Photon Overcharge handle the left side. That's what I recommend. And man, he's gotta be doing stuff. Gotta do stuff over here. I guess a warping of Stalkers is not bad. Not bad in this situation. This could turn into a base race. Ladies and gentlemen, these Reapers, though, just laying waste to these probes. They have killed 15 already. There are 9 remaining for Dicren. Stalkers getting right on in here to this mineral line, though. This is turning into a base race. There's nothing here to stop these Stalkers. If the SCVs fight against the Stalkers direct and get a surround on them, which they can't do because good positioning by the Stalkers means they can't get surrounded. No. Don't let them get that surround. Pull back to the cannons. Does it matter? I don't think it even matters. These Stalkers are not taking much damage at all from these guys. That one might... Nope, not even... This one's super injured. Back to the cannons, and... Oh, picking off a Stalker with a Reaper. Pro move. Pro move there. So Dicren's done. Dicren's probes are all dead. This is the last stand for Dicren. He's got 4 Stalkers. Whoa, Drogan left the game. Oh, Drogan is defeated, and Dicren is victorious, even though he kind of had to fail... cannon attack there. He's what how did I win this thing? Let's check it out. Things still build. Mind you, he's trying to get out anyway. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here from Dicren. He gets the win. Again, failed cannon rush into losing all your probes into warping of Stalkers your opponent's base. Win. Interesting game. Maybe this is why the 3-Rax Reaper isn't as popular in TVP, because Stalkers just kind of wreck it for the most part. Man, he had Marines coming out and he wasn't dead. Hard to say. All right, so that's it for that edition. Not edition, but that particular episode. Nope, entry into G's compilation number 16. We'll come back with one more, and more beyond that, actually, in just a second. G's number whatever will be between Barcode and Xenomorph here on Proxima Station, the latter edition. In the top right-hand side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Xenomorph. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It be Barcode. Arr. Yes, it be Pirate Falcon Paladin here today, doing a cast-free mateys. And we're going to end that before it starts. All right, so a ZVT here on Proxima Station, the latter edition. Actually, speaking of accents, I had Heartless. Heartless contacted me the other day and said, you know what? I need to get back in this casting thing. Yeah, I had a kid. Yeah, I started a new job. Yes, my life was turned upside down. I had to let casting kind of go by the wayside, but I want to get back into it. I watched our old NPR cast, which if you haven't watched it, you should give it a shot. It's an NPR dual cast I did with Heartless. Oh boy, probably a year ago now, maybe more than a year ago now, where it was very much, it was a lot of this. Now look at Barcode harvesting his minerals. Just a lot of NPR voice. I did one of those last summer after I lost my voice. And I was coming up against the buffer, and I didn't want to miss any days for you guys, and so I actually had to talk in my lower registers because my higher registers were gone. And I couldn't get too excited because then I would crack my voice out as well, and it was a whole cast like this. Anyway, those days are over. My voice is strong. It is stronger than ever after all of that damage done to it by getting sick. Sickness is the worst damage. It is the worst damage indeed. All right, so fully saturating his extractor. Here's Xenomorph. Got a pull on the way here to extractor. Coming up on the low ground, and Barcode is going for the 1-Rax expand. The expand on the way. The 1-Rax just about done here. Got double refinery. Which tells me he's got some plans. This double refinery, if you ever scout this as a Zerg player, you see double refinery from the Terran, you know it's crazy stuff. And you should probably try to shut it down fast. It used to be that meant Banshee, right? Double barracks, or double refinery rather, meant Banshee. Double barracks did not mean Banshee. Don't listen to that. It meant a quick Cloak Banshee. You need a lot of gas for that, and minimal defense at the front, so you could usually bust it. But again, nobody really scouts through with drones anymore these days. It's going to be slow overlords or nothing, and I guess you get here in time to kind of see what's at the front, but you're not going to get back here to check these refineries anytime soon with this particular slow overlord thing. A drone, I know it could be mining instead, but geez, staying alive seems pretty important to me. Pretty important to the old Falcon Paladin. Walling off. Ooh, look at this wall off. Using a reactor and a supply depot perfectly placed here by Barcode. This player knows what's up. He's got a Marine. That's enough to hold off a large number of Zerglings. I mean, if you're doing repair, a single Marine can hold off like as many Lings as can fit along the front of these buildings. Not even kidding. It's pretty good stuff. If they have stim, forget it. Forget it. It's going to be a 2-base, 5-minute Roach rush from Xenomorph. It looks like this might be a Nurchio fan going for this build, getting speed for his Lings, getting that double gas in his main. The Ravagers are not cheap. They're 75 gas each. Plus, you have to give up a Roach for them, so keep that in mind. Ravagers are expensive that way. 5 Roaches on the way at 3 minutes and 16 seconds. 3:16. Overlord scouts on in. Is he going to see the double gas is my question. The answer is maybe. This Marine can't kill the Overlord fast enough to keep it from scouting. Good job, Overlord. Woo! Way to get in there. Way to get in there and scout this other refinery. I mean, you have to change your angle of trajectory a tiny bit, I think, if you want to see it. Is he just gonna miss? He just misses seeing that other refinery. I guess he doesn't care. He's like, whatever. You can go double gas if you want. Unless it's a tank rush. Cyclones here. Cyclone, a pretty good hold. This could be a cheese fail, you guys. We encourage those to be sent to falconpaladin@gmail.com as well. I mean, considering the fact Lag TV doesn't do this stuff anymore, I mean, Will Cheese Fail has to live in somebody's house, so it might as well be mine. Might as well be mine. All right, so Roaches, Lings here at the front door. Roaches, not Ravagers yet. Oh, that Cyclone. Double Cyclone action. Look how fast that Roach just got smashed. 34 hit points out of 144. The nice thing is, if you morph in a wounded unit into something else, it gains all its HP back. So good for Banelings, good for Overseers, good for Ravagers, good for Broodlords. And here we go. Ravager, a much, much different situation against these Cyclones. No extra damage done against them, as they are not considered light nor armored. Still, pretty good DPS. One of the Ravagers does die. And pulling back a little bit. SCVs, do they want to repair? They might be a little bit too late here. He's a little indecisive. Is he working? He's working on a Banshee, but no, the Banshee is supply blocked. Because supply depots keep falling, this is going to be it. I think Xenomorph has this thing. Delayed a little bit too long, did our blue Terran player. Barcode, Lings streaming in. Lings great at taking damage and taking out SCVs. Corrosive Vials landing, not hitting much of anything there. Final Cyclone, chased down by Lings, one of their arch nemesis, and murdered all the SCVs out as well. It is suddenly 55 to 25 supplies. Xenomorph is up. Strong factory taken down by Lings and Ravagers. This Banshee will finish even if the tech lab is removed. So you got to take down the starport. There you go. Changing his attack, cross-biling down the starport. Recognizing a Banshee is a huge problem here, and smartly focusing down at that building before the Banshee can finish. And that's going to be it. It's just Lings remaining, and Barcode is out. Xenomorph is victorious in 5 minutes and 36 seconds. And that's it for this game of Cheese Compilation. We'll come back with more from the Falcon Paladin in just a second. And welcome back, StarCraft fans, to another game of Cheese. This is between Ivani and Helios Kid on Odyssey, the latter edition. In the bottom right corner of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It's going to be Helios Kid. And in the top left corner of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Ivani. Fun fact, I just took a break from casting this Cheese compilation to cast the latest edition of my podcast, which is probably available right now. How's that? Nice conversation with Wade. We talked about meat pies. We talked about the Great Emu War in Australia of 1932. Did you have any idea about that? No, you certainly did not. Podcast recommendations, TV recommendations as well. Give it a listen. It's a good time. Forge first. Hear from Helios Kid. Go to cannon rush the Zerg, which in general is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do to cannon rush the Zerg unless you're just trying to cannon out their natural base, which you can do. Although, look at this Overlord placement by Ivani. I think I called him Ivani previously, but I think it's Ivani, which, I don't know. Is it a feminine form of Ivan? Like Ivanka? Ivanka Trump? Pylon goes down, scouted immediately by Ivani. Another pylon goes down, scouted immediately by Ivani. He's on top of the scouting, but he needs to do something about this. You don't want this pylon to finish, dude. All right, he let it finish. Does he have enough for a cannon? There's a cannon. Probes coming on down to deal with the cannon. So I think you need 4 probes to take down a cannon as it's coming in if you want to kill it before it finishes. 2, I don't think is enough. You'll notice the health is going up on this thing. It should be going down right now. Another cannon coming up at the edge of the creep. Now, this can kill the extractor. It can't hit the main hatchery here. Oh, I know killing the probe is a big deal. There we go. 4 on this cannon. And now it's starting to go down, but is it going down fast enough? I think he's too late. It is warping into existence. Run! It doesn't kill anything. Good retreat time on Ivani, but too late with everything else. Cannon is going to finish. This probe is trying to kill, or this drone rather, is trying to kill this probe. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. I mean, you're fairly contained here, Zerg player. You needed to respond a little bit more quickly to this. Oh, cannon rushing Zerg is always an iffy proposition, but it's working pretty well here for our Protoss. Now, let's see. He has his expansion, which is nice. The expansion is done for Ivani. Getting a spine crawler here as well. This cannon is unnecessary. I don't like this one, Helios Kid. This one up here in the top right. These 2 cannons can't hit anything. They can take down this extractor if it tries to get thrown up by Ivani, but otherwise they're not doing anything else. Spine crawler's coming up for Ivani. Might try to break out with those, the combination of queens and lings. It's not easy. It is not an easy thing to do for sure. Spinecrawler is coming up at the natural base to try to save it, which seems like a good plan to me. Probe tries to knock it down. Everything is being invested in these these cannons for Helios Kid. Probably overmaking them. He's got 2 more coming up here on this ramp, although it does make ling run bys a lot harder, as it turns out. So Spinecrawler range. Let's take a look at this. I always second guess myself on this one. But the range is 7. The range of the cannon is also 7K. So same range. You can't outrange cannons with spine crawlers, which makes a lot of sense. But if you take 2 of these, put them over on this left side, and burrow them at the same time with queen support and transfuses, you can take down one of these cannons and then do it again. He's expanding for... Ivani's taking another base. Ivani is not worried about a thing. This is incredible. So there it is. Trying to get 2 spine crawlers burrowed in range. Nope, missed. Missed with this one. It is hard. It is hard to get exactly within 7 range. And no closer, because again, these other cannons can hit. Overlord does provide some additional range to see what we're dealing with. Zealots coming out of this gateway that Helios Kid has thrown up inside the main base of Ivani. And there's a single spine crawler here for Ivani at the natural base, plus a queen that's good enough to shove away those 2 zealots. But any more that show up, it starts to get dicey for the Zerg player. You know what you could do is just, again, send Zerglings down here and wreck this thing. Like 10 slowlings would be the end of our Protoss player. And you can get them there because you have hatcheries on the outside of this cannon rush. You have men on the outside. Yeah, I don't know what these additional spine crawlers are for. I guess maybe the zealots could attack this main base as well. But 2 spines with 2 queens with some decent micro, enough to deal with these zealots for sure. Not even getting warp gate as Helios Kid because he doesn't have a cyber core yet. He's working on it. He's working on having a cyber core, but he's not there yet. Okay, so here are the... Oh, I made all the lings inside the main. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. This might be a suicide rush from Ivani. These lings, all 3 spine crawlers and 2 queens versus 4 cannons and 4 zealots. He might be able to overwhelm it, but I think he's going to lose too much. 8 more lings in production. Pretty good use of his money right now from Ivani. Helios Kid sitting on 450 minerals somehow and expanding twice himself. All right. Natural base done. 3rd base done. Overlord scouted that one. Lings, there we go. Lings coming out. Is there any base defense from Helios Kid, man? I know you're trying to contain here. Oh, did a queen try to come down? Looks like a queen died here on the ramp. Tried to come down here. Dude, you need cannons, Helios Kid. A mothership core would be nice too. You have absolutely no defense against these lings. Here we go. 8 lings showing up. And you have nothing. You knew this was a possibility, Helios Kid, because you knew there was a hatch outside of your contain. All right. 8 lings to your natural, says Ivani. Was he trying to do One Trick Wednesday? Announce your intentions? He was late with it. He was really late with it. Yeah, I messed up, says Helios Kid. I'm silly. Oh, and he left the game. He left the game. Yeah, you gotta have some defense here, man. A couple cannons, a mothership core, some photon overcharge would have been enough. But Helios Kid with a beautiful contain, but forgot to account for the fact that Zerg can make units and come destroy you from other bases. Rough go. Rough go of it, Helios Kid. All right, that's it for that one. We'll come back with one more, possibly the last one of the Cheese compilation in just a second. Cheese compilation will continue with a game between Not E.G. Idra and Grossmoo on Odyssey, the latter edition. In the top left corner of the map, we have the red Protoss player, it be Not E.G. Idra. Wow, Not E.G. Idra. And in the bottom left-hand corner, also known as the right-hand corner, is the blue Protoss player, it is Grossmoo. Grossmoo, possibly? Possibly what it is. Another PvP cheeser. Who's going to be the one? Who's going to be our cheeser today? It looks like a very early probe from Grossmoo. And a pylon on the low ground here. Ooh, a pylon, a photon overcharge pylon rush is always fun to see. I'm rooting for that. That's what I'm rooting for here. From Grossmoo. Not E.G. Idra putting his stuff all close to home, though, so not as good. Not as good to photon overcharge. Unless you get your pylons outside of the vision range of this Nexus, which is out of the range of photon overcharge, I think. Yeah, I think it is. This might not work. So, what are you doing, though, Grossmoo? You're sneaky. Oh, he is! He is throwing a pylon up down here. But there's nothing on the top of the ramp for you to kill. Oh, it's just a cannon rush. Okay, so just a regular cannon rush, pylon on the low ground, staying out of the range. Oh, look at how exactly out of range that is. Ah, that's a gorgeous placement from Grossmoo here. And, oh, is there a proxy from Not E.G. Idra as well? Oh, both players being sneaky. Oh, did that probe see it? The probe saw it! Oh no, the probe saw it. Cannon on the low ground. What's the response going to be from Not E.G. Idra? I don't know if he can proxy anymore. He might need to devote resources to back here. All right, so probe's pulled off the line. And going to cancel that cannon. It's going to die. Cancel the cannon. So many probes pulled off the line. There's the cancel. Going after this pylon, but this cannon on the low ground is going to finish. I think it was too late. I think it was too late for Idra. Or not Idra. I apologize. Yep, one pylon, one probe dies, and now it's protected. It's protecting another one probe trying to get up here. Toss down, does kill another probe, and this cybernetics core is in severe amounts of trouble right now. Not E.G. Idra pulling the boys, pulling all the probes for this. I think he can kill this cannon, but he's choosing not to. I think maybe here is in range, but maybe not up here. I wish it would show the range of cannons when you clicked on them. Not doing it. Not doing it. Okay, this is an exceptionally well done cannon rush out of Grossmoo here. Yes, a Stargate's on the way from Not E.G. Idra, though. He's proxy Stargating while being cannon rushed here. Cybercore is in trouble. Pylon powering the Cybercore also in trouble. And I think this gateway is also a potential target for these cannons as well. Another pylon comes up. You can throw down a cannon just behind the mineral line for Not E.G. Idra. He's pulling his probes a little bit early. I think he can get a couple more minutes of mining. But he's out. He's trying to... Okay, he's re-expanding next to where his proxy Stargate is. Down in the bottom section of this map. Okay, so now this is where you're done with cannons. Done with cannons, Grossmoo. You've done enough. You've done enough here. Go find where your opponent's things are. Go find where these probes ran to. Did the probes run to try to kill you? Possibly. You really don't have any defense against that. A probe rush right now would be interesting. 17 to 17 harvesters. But no, it's an extra base, a sneaky base. Not E.G. Idra has tossed up here with assimilators to boot. He wants to be able to make a Void Ray or an Oracle or something, but doesn't have the gas for it. And is going to try mining. Going to try... Yep, he's putting all of his little Vespene gas probes here by the Nexus until it finishes. It's almost done. He got this thing started a while ago. No. You don't need a gateway here, Grossmoo. That's overkill. Yep, and you can get the Nexus too. Okay, you're done. You're done building things here. Build things back home. Do some scouting. If you think this is all your opponent has and you saw their probes run away, you're probably wrong about that. Alarm bells should be going off in your head, cannon rushing Grossmoo. But no, apparently not. Apparently no alarms whatsoever from you today. Alright, gas income coming in now for Not E.G. Idra. An Oracle would be nice. 150, 150. He's got enough minerals for it, and it is an Oracle. And there is a single cannon here at the main base of Grossmoo. However, it is not placed in a way that it can cover this mineral line. You put the Oracle back here behind these minerals, and it has the range to kill every single one of these probes. So cannon placement, put it in the mineral line. I know it messes up the pathing on your probes, but suck it up. Suck up your pride. Suck up your desires for efficiency and keep them alive. Alive probes are more efficient than dead probes. Nexus down. Zealot says, what's left? Is this all that's left? Another hint. Nexus died. Then there is no message that says your opponent is being revealed. Nothing's being revealed, dude. Why are you putting a cyber core here? And more zealots. No, no, no. Scout. Here comes the Oracle flying in. Oh, there's a cannon on the way now. Probes huddling around the cannon. Can't do anything. Can you take down that cannon as it's building is my question. Don't go back to work. Don't go back to work. Oh, one gets picked off there. I think maybe you can take down this cannon? Do something with your pulsar beam. Oh, he ran out of energy. Never mind. Ran out of energy. Another cannon coming up. Okay, so I think that's all you're going to get. 3-kill Oracle here. Cannon popping. And the Oracle is forced to leave. Void Ray follow-up. Maybe 3-gate here from Not EG Idra. Look at all this stuff that Grossmau has. All right, dude. An Oracle showed up. You know it didn't come from this base. Do some scouting. Do us all a favor and do some scouting. Zealot heading down somewhere. Okay, is there a base here? Good. Good scouting, but not the right direction. Unfortunately, another expansion on the way from Not EG Idra. Cancels 2 of his gateways. I think maybe to fund this expansion. He's expanding. Gutsy. Gutsy play from Not EG Idra here. Oracle checking into their natural base for Grossmau. No, still one base in it, man. Gonna run out of minerals fairly soon here. A fully saturated main. Oh, he's expanding up to Not EG Idra's main base. All right, I mean, I guess he already has a gateway and a cybernetics core here, so hey, makes sense. Zealots marching around. Okay, if you divide, you can conquer. Divide and conquer here. Zealot 1, you can search up in the top right quadrant. Zealot 2, there you go. There you go. Sometimes I feel like these players can hear me. I feel like they can. Zealot going to check the bottom left quadrant. I like it very much. Meanwhile, there's a fleet beacon on the way for Not EG Idra because, you know, you get cannon rushed and lose your maid, might as well rush to carrier. That's what I always say, isn't it? Don't you always hear Falcon Paladin say that? What a crazy game. Again, this is the map that has 3 Vespene Geysers on some bases and 1 Vespene Geyser on others, but I don't think that's really ever come into play that I've seen on any games on this map. I forget, honestly, that's the situation more often than not. So Zealot is going the correct location to scout. Oh, another Zealot showed up. And there's nothing to defend against this except for the Void Ray. Void Ray, save everyone! Prismatic alignment doing nothing to the Zealot because it's not armored. He does end up with 4 kills. He's 5 kills. All right, another Zealot. Another Zealots are showing up like crazy right now. That is 8 probes lost. 9 probes lost. Mothership core hitting. Are you hitting your own? Oh, was that the mothership core from Grossmau? It was. I was like, why is the mothership core hitting her own probes? And the answer was because it was an enemy mothership core. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, so scout it. He sees the fleet beacon, and it's a carrier. Oh my gosh, it's a carrier. Cool skin carrier, mind you. Carrier Void Oracle Grossmau. It doesn't really have the tech for this. It is working on immortal production. Dude, your opponent is stargating fleet beaking it. Fleet beaconing it. Man, after an hour-long cast, my mouth sometimes goes strange places. Strange places, it does. All right, so I guess we just have to wait for this carrier. And there it be. Double Stargate here as well. Probes from Grossmau going up to the natural base. Because again, the main's getting mined out. And he has an aversion to thinking his own natural. For reasons I don't fully understand, nor am I on board with. Getting Graviton Catapult because why not? You're going carrier. Might as well Graviton Catapult this thing. 1 carrier done. Another one on the way. Chrono Boost only on 1 of these Stargates. Trying to Chrono Boost out Graviton Catapult, which... Okay, I mean, I think I'd rather... That's what interceptors look like? Dang, that's crazy. A purifier skin, right? Yeah, I think I'd rather have an extra carrier than have Graviton, but yo, whatevs. You're the one who's playing Protoss here and possibly going random, actually. Boom, 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 boom. Immortals on the way. So many immortals when your opponent is going Stargate. You know, this just goes to show that if you're a cheeser, sometimes if your cheese doesn't work, you kind of fall apart after that. If that's all you know, is cheesing to win or cheesing to lose. if the game goes into carriers, you don't quite know what to do with yourself. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Gene? All right, carriers are sitting at almost 86-second warp in. Timing. All right, here we go. Zealots on the ground. Carriers in the sky. Void Rays, 2. I don't think there's enough here from Grossmau to save this. He's got 4 cannons. They're pretty spread out. Maybe if they were together, maybe they could do something, but no, they can't. Setting up. I think Idra assumes there's a natural base for Grossmau right now, but there's not.
They're too cute to die.
But there's not. Oh, the Immortals going to town on these workers. Crikey, moved out at the wrong time. Did not EG Idra. Photon overcharge trying to do this, but Immortals against Pylons are pretty good. Pretty good. All right, Pulsar Beam being used on Immortals. Focusing down the wounded one. Pretty good target firing there from not EG Idra. And yes, Prismatic Alignment real good against Void Rays. They are definitely armored carriers. Getting some shots off here as well. The Immortals trying to run, trying to take down this Pylon before they die. And can they do it? The answer is maybe no. 19 hit points left on that Pylon. And suddenly it's 71 to 57 supply. Those are more. Are you doing more Immortals? Grossmau, you're a crazy person. You are an insane person, but I guess that's what we can expect from a cheeser. On the ladder, I always say, all right, I know you want to gather your forces here at the front, not an EG Idra, but I think you can A-move at this point. And yeah, got it. Working on +1 armor is Grossmau. And there we go. Interceptors, man, they look cool. Look at those red trails on them. I like it. I like this a lot, actually. It's kind of mesmerizing. Oh, he denies the upgrade on the Forge Pylon Toast as well. Got some Void Rays heading up to the top left corner here of Grossmau. Expanding on a third time is not EG Idra in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. And Grossmau, again, for how well his cannon rushing was, he did not follow it up very well at all. At all. Pylon has 4 kills. Pretty good against interceptors, as it turns out. 5 kills, 6 kills. That is a total of 9 interceptors that have been killed so far, mostly by cannons, if I had to guess. But 4 carriers rocking this stuff. Void Rays dealing with these Immortals. Pointing their heads backwards while walking forwards is always fun. They can't move and shoot at the same time, so they're just kind of threatening to do that. Main base is gone for our cheesing player, and all the rest of the stuff is here going to die. Or here is going to die as well. The Immortals finally did stop to kill the Zealots that were chasing them. 3 Immortals stopping at the Zelnaga Watchtower. Void Ray is making quick work of that, but 3 of them unchecked. Heading down here to not EG Idra's main base. Carriers, yep, that is what is the remaining of Grossmau and Toast. Photon overcharge is up. Double Photon overcharge here against these Immortals with Void Ray support. And only one of the Pylons die this time. That's nice. 82 to 28 supply. It is a perfect reverse of what we're seeing here from Grossmau. Grossmau sitting on 1,800 minerals and 1,800 gas. Again, spending money, not something Immortals or cannon rushers are very good at. What? This Immortal? Where'd you come from? This guy has 1 kill. I think it's a Pylon. He's trying to stop the construction of carriers. Oh, he gets it. Both Stargates are unpowered for not EG Idra right now. But you know what? It's time to just go. Yeah, that's the good game. Grossmau's defeated. Not EG Idra is victorious. And Grossmau has left the game. Chicka chicka. All right, that's going to be it for the Cheese compilation, everybody. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.